Yay! One, yeah. Do you not remember One Punch Man in the 1920s?
We've got the stick it over me headphones. There you go.
Nice.
22 apps.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Yes.
A word from our sponsor.
I know, a word from your sponsors. So, Shea Glass Games and Asmodee have teamed up, and we're currently doing a promo thing called Love Your Game Store. And basically what it is come and shop in any game store, not just Shea Glass Games, ideally Shea Glass Games. And basically any store that's taking part with any purchase, you get to scan a QR code, upload your details, and get entered into a prize draw. It's brilliant. It's a good way to get everyone back inside game stores again and everything like that. I mean, much love to everyone who supported any game store throughout the whole of lockdown and everything like that. But now we're back open again. Let's start seeing faces through the doors, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be gaming again next month in stores. Yes. Woo. Thank you very much for that.
Excellent. So we're back again with a quick Saturday night Call of Cthulhu with our usual cast of players. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming along. Slightly earlier time, same channel. Okay, so we, as a group, most of you have been through, we've done Deadlight. That was where we started, which is the Most Haunted Crew. It was their first ever investigation. We then did Crimson Letters. We did Servants of the Lake. And then we did a custom one that I came up with called Twilight Curtain Call, which is all based in Vegas. And we're going on to one called Bottle Creek Sanity. So this is going to be your fifth adventure. And what we're going to do tonight is just sort of wrap up where Twilight Curtain Call finished off, and then ease you gently into Bottle Creek Sanity. So who would like to remind us of what happened at the end of Twilight Curtain Call?
I'll have a go.
Hey, thank you very much.
We'll do it together.
The Most Haunted Crew. Actually, sorry, that's a good point. I've forgotten something. I do apologise. You've got to introduce yourselves. So we may as well start with the Most Haunted Crew. So Gary, how are you doing? Thank you for coming on tonight.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Who are you playing?
I play Michael Pritchard, who is one half of the Most Haunted Crew. We go around looking at different investigations of paranormal or stuff that's going off to enhance our book sales and write new stories. I'm also a psychic medium that's got a spirit guide called Sam, who unfortunately this one died.
You know your spirit guide was already dead, right?
Yeah, and then taken over by one from another story. She's not been much helpful, but
oh, she was very helpful. She gave you loads of info.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. So Em, welcome.
Hi.
How you doing? Who are you playing?
I play Sharon Bennett, and I'm the other half of the Most Haunted team. So I write the books. So the books that we've written is Night in the Orchard and Forge is Fear, and then the new one, Servants of the Lake. So I'm always trying to write the books, and we always end up in a lot of trouble.
Strange, that.
It always seems to attract us all the time.
Brilliant. And we've already heard from him in our sponsors segment, but let's go over to Ross. How you doing, Ross? Who are you playing?
Well, good. I'm playing JP Porter, who is a stuntman.
Hey!
Yeah.
Grass.
Might also be a Delta Green agent.
Grassy grass.
I think after the last session, the most haunted crew aren't best pleased with JP.
No.
Well, JP's been around for a while now. Been for two of their adventures,
Yep.
and may have been taking notes for the film that he's working on. And his bosses have got involved. Just so happens that his bosses are Delta Green. So
Hey! Nice twist at the end last time. And finally, the man, the myth, the legend. It's GM Bushy. How you doing, Bushy? Woohoo!
That's how great he is.
Amazing. Downhill from there. Oh,
ooh.
Oh, hello. Okay, I'm watching through Zoom though. Ooh.
No audio on Bushy.
thank you for letting us know, Jack. Star as always. And chat box, thank you for letting us know. Amazing.
Seconds. Do, do, do.
So while we're on some downtime waiting for Bushy to get his audio sorted, Gary, tell us a joke.
Oh dear. Oh, flippy.
I don't want to worry you, but they all should be able to hear me now. So
Oh, yeah. I need days to prepare a comedy.
Let's just throw it out there as Gary, so it's up to you two which one wants to do it.
Okay, much better. Take it in.
Excellent. So, the man, the myth, the legend, Bushy. How you doing?
Hello.
Tell us again.
Yeah, so I play the great and magnificent Thurston. He is a stage magician. He first met the Most Haunted crew and their son, JP, at the Servants of the Lake adventure. They very kindly all pushed his van into the hedge, rather than just, moving it to the side of the road, which was definitely appreciated. And they showed me some crazy times by basically showing me some zombies. I thought I got away with it, and that was all over and done with, but then they came and found me in Vegas. So, the insanity continues.
Oh, yes. Definitely will with the next adventure we've got lined up. Okay. So, back to the recap from last time. So we're over to the Most Haunted crew. Are going to tell us where things got left off, because it all went a bit crazy in the Twilight Enigma Theatre.
Yeah. I'll start at the beginning if you like. We after our recent book tour, we decided to go back to the museum to check how everything's going. And when we pulled into Vegas, we saw Thurston standing outside the theatre giving leaflets away. And he invited us to come watch his show at night, which we thought, well, that would be a nice break. It saves us having all the more haunted stuff. And through the performance, we heard a scream and found that a lady called Irma Hardy had been murdered in the dressing room with all her body torn up and stuff like that. So we talked to the owner, and he was telling us about the theatre and how it used to be.
Yeah, the owner cliff.
It's just been done up, and so we decided to split up for a bit, and we went to the newspaper, the Most Haunted crew did, and we left JP to do detective work for his first time. And he stole a book, read it, lost his hearing.
We were in the theatre, weren't we?
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, JP read the book, and then so I went and woke him up to take him into the theatre so we could just watch what was happening. And then there was basically a man cut his throat, didn't he, on stage, And then
Yep.
another man came out. Was it a man or a lady singing?
It was both. It was a duo.
Our duo. But I
Yeah.
think it was the man that when he was singing, it made us all go in a trance. But because
Yeah.
JP couldn't hear it,
Which was
he
fortunate.
he could save us all, I think.
Well, what did he see happening? Well, what did you guys see after you came out of this trance?
I saw just loads of people going towards the backstage, or all the audience going towards backstage, and they looked like they were going to kill somebody.
And I believe Michael saw something in particular as well.
Yeah, as I was hiding backstage, I came to see if I could find Sharon, and as I was going towards the exit doors closed as the police officers locked the door with one of our old compadres of, if I can remember his name,
Robert / Francis. You knew him as Francis.
we knew him as Francis, and they locked us in there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so we all made our way to the dressing room area where we waited for JP, and JP came in the room
Yeah.
and then attacked me with a potato.
And he set the potato like bomb lightning.
Let's just clarify what this potato is, shall we?
I think we should leave it
Actually,
like
a
that.
lightning gun, which you guys found in Deadlight.
You should have just left it as
You
a
get to
potato.
see it, Deadlight.
Henceforth known as the metal potato.
Yeah. So he knocked us all down, but I managed to get up and say, "What are you doing?"
Due to your extremely high constitution.
Yeah. And then he told us that he actually is not a stuntman. He doesn't do films. He's been lying to us all this time, and he's working for, who is it, Gary? Who was working for?
Delta Green.
Delta Green.
They're not Delta Green yet. They're Delta Division. They haven't quite grown up into
And
Delta Green
the
just
police
yet.
are outside, and we've got to try and make our way outside. They're not going to come in and help us. Basically, they blocked us in with all these zombie people that are trying to kill us now. Well, they're trying to kill what was the man's name again? Cliff. They're trying to kill Cliff.
Yep.
And we said, should we just let him out the door? And that's when JP snapped and went, "You're not doing that."
Well, yeah, JP finally snapped when you guys decided to kill innocent people again. He'd witnessed it once before.
We're saving, they're not innocent.
We never attacked anybody. JP attacked 15 people at the door, and then he attacked me. And then we managed to we realised we had to get out the back door. JP led us to the back door, in which we was then filed into the back of a van.
Yeah.
And that's where we were left off.
We were in the back of a van.
So, and then what happened right at the very end then, Ross? Can you remember?
So, my previous character, Marcus, during the first two sessions, who had been tormented, tortured near enough, and interrogated at the start of our sessions for this campaign, basically got thrown into a room with a knife and told to sort the situation out.
Very good.
Francis did not throw you in there. He said if you wanted to join us, you had to go and sort it out.
I mean,
you could have said no.
I feel like Francis definitely
Marcus
took advantage of
no.
Marcus and his inability to stand up for himself.
But Marcus got reunited with an old friend in a box.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought they were friends.
The sacrificial dagger, obsidian dagger. Well, yeah. So you all were safely bundled into the back of a van, whilst the Delta Division did some containment, as they called it, and you were in the back. And the van starts up and takes off along a road. You can't see out of it. There's no windows. It's dark. There's bench seats in there. So you sit down to stop yourselves from falling over. And it drives for quite a while. It's hard to know the exact passage of time, You guys can give me a knowledge roll to see if you have any concept of how much time is passing. I mean, you will have, I guess you will have pocket watches. But like I say, it's really dark, so you might not be able to see them properly.
What's knowledge come under?
It's right at the top. I think it is. Is it intelligence or knowledge?
Intelligence rolls, yeah.
Okay.
Intelligent.
Yeah, that's that.
Passed.
Failed.
Failed.
Not a good start.
You're too busy wondering if the most haunted crew are going to stab you in the back.
Yeah.
They're giving you dirty looks, JP, as you sit there.
Pretending to be our son, he did.
You've got your hand in your pocket, cradling the metal potato.
Oh, extreme success.
Extreme success. So success, extreme.
Hard success.
Hey, so we've got everything across the board then. We've got a fail, a success, a hard, and an extreme. Well done, everybody. This is how Cthulhu works. So, yeah, JP, like I say, you're just too worried about letting your guard down. So you're in a very heightened sense of awareness, expecting a threat from the rest of these guys. You're sat right close to the doors. As I say, you got your hand in your pocket, cradling this metal potato that you know how to use.
I'm just sitting there in the corner going, just talking at him. Disappointed I am.
If I remember rightly, Thurston was kind of seen as a new recruit, possibly. So, and he didn't get tasered. No. Surely JP's not worried about me.
This is true. Yeah. So it's the most. Maybe it's you two on one side, and then the most haunted crew on the other bench seat. And there's
Are we moving towards
opposite
each other
corners.
like that?
Okay.
I mean, Thurston, you notice a definite tension in the air. You see the daggers being glared from the most haunted crew towards JP as they feel utterly betrayed.
I was going to say, do you know, it is times like these that, well, I would say it's either a fine scotch or a joke that can fill the air. And as we don't have any scotch, well, at least I assume we don't have any scotch, I thought I'd just tell you a joke. Now, I know normally you're expecting a magic trick, but let's have a change of things. So, what do you call a blind deer?
Dear.
JP is not letting his guard down.
It's a no idea.
I love it.
I mean, much like we have no idea where we're going, do we, JP?
Oh, I think JP might have an idea.
I think JP knows everything.
JP knows nothing.
Is there other guards in this band, or is it just JP?
It's just JP.
Is it really?
Yeah. So you guys know, so everyone except JP knows for a fact that you're traveling, like it's about 2 hours you're in the back of this wagon. So if you want to do anything else in those 2 hours, it's entirely up to you.
I want to question JP.
It's the van's jiggling along, it keeps throwing you into your seat a bit, but yeah, if you want to question JP, go
we
ahead.
had been taken off us when we was chucked in the back of the van.
Nope.
So Sharon's still got a handbag
Yes.
with a
You still-
revolver in
You've still got your cane. Yes.
it.
No, we'll be good. I want to ask JP why he did it. What's his real name? Where we're going?
So you can either role play it or you can just say, I'm asking him, and then
Yeah,
it's up to him how he responds.
that just like that. I've just said
Okay.
it.
Said it. Okay. I mean, so my name is Jack. It still is JP. That hasn't changed.
So what's your
Um,
last name then, Jack?
It's Jack Philip Porter, so it is still JP Porter.
Okay.
That near enough everything you know about me is still exactly the same. Very little has changed, except I work for these guys instead of
We don't
the
know what to
production
believe
company.
anymore. You said you were like our son, and we treated you like a son, and then this is what you did.
That was everyone else's assumptions. I don't feel like I acted like a son.
Oh, we treated you like a son, we did.
You treated me like a lackey.
What's the son then?
I just feel I should point out that long-time follower Jack has pointed out he can see the murderous gleam in the most haunted crew's eyes already.
There wasn't even a question of that, was it? It kind of, the first thing they said is, and you knew from Michael there, it's like, so there's no guards left, and I have my sword cane. Oh.
And yet you wonder why you're in this situation. Your first reaction is to pull out your sword cane.
And where can I get special coffee from?
But the thing is, you see, we wouldn't have wanted to pull a sword cane out if you hadn't attacked us first.
I am more than aware of your use of your sword cane.
On what?
Prior to being attacked.
On people.
What you call people and what I call people might be two different things, but yes.
Well, okay then. The people that you electrocuted outside the room, are they not people then?
They were stunned, not stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Non-lethal force was used to subdue people, yes. I mean, we can get into the nitty-gritty and the back and forth of this, but I feel like your reputation speaks for itself, and all you've got to do is read your books.
And if you notice, there's still a world you're living in. And that is because of us.
What goes on behind the scenes in many different locations keeps the world spinning, Michael. I don't feel like you have a hand in everything here.
That's a telling off, that is.
So actually also, JP, you do have a bit more knowledge. And it's the fact that there has been an awful lot of cleanup needed after every single adventure these guys have done, and it's all happened behind the scenes. They're unaware, like it's Delta Division has done a lot to contain what these guys keep releasing.
Yes.
And when you say releasing, how would you describe releasing them? You was there at the lake, yeah? Yeah. How would you say release
them?
Go on then.
So, I feel like this is the kind of questions and answers that you need to provide to my superiors.
And you?
I'm not interrogating you at the moment.
Not? Why are you in this van and not with your mates then? Don't that tell you something?
I don't like to speculate, Michael.
Yeah. They turned on you as well, JP.
I would like to feel like I qualify as a friend to you all.
You are a friend?
Thurston, I feel I should point out you've switched cameras, by the way.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking down from your right shoulder, the left shoulder. Yeah.
Hey.
That camera now.
That's not the same camera that I can see on the stream, so
no,
I'm somewhat confused about this.
Yeah.
That is weird, yeah.
You got two cameras.
Oh, he's upped his studio. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2.
Really good.
Oh, sorry, Thurston, go for it.
Well, no, I was merely pointing out that I consider myself to be a friend to you all in this van.
So did I, to be fair.
I think we're all friends apart from JP. Because he's been horrible to us.
Well, you know, I mean, if you look at it from his side, they did just send somebody in with a knife to go and, you know, basically slaughter a whole bunch of people.
Exactly.
And he's not slaughtered us. So I think really he's probably doing us a favour so far.
Yeah, but he says he just said it's the way I go around doing things, and yet they've just sent a man in there with a knife to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Got a point.
Explain that logic to me.
I mean, Michael, would you prefer to have been that man going in with the knife to
No, I'd
solve the
prefer
issue?
to be sat in my museum of shackle.
See, we wouldn't do that because we're good people.
We just saved everybody.
We try and save the good people.
Whilst I agree
I'm
with
sorry, JP.
sorry, yes. Whilst I agree with the saving of the good people, I also don't feel like it's your call on who is good and who is bad.
Well,
And
if
I
somebody
think that's something that
killed
you
people,
need to remember.
see, if somebody killed people and we know they did, then they're bad people. So I wouldn't bother saving them.
Playing judge and jury does seem a bit odd for book writers, does it not?
You know, when you're in the heat of it and you just trying to survive, trying to get out. I mean, let's talk about the last adventure we was on. Who was the one riding the fiery boat?
In the river.
I mean, you're going to say you had nothing to do with that. You just stood to one side and just watched.
That was definitely partaking in helping the cleanup
Up at the cleanup
of the situation that had arisen.
So the
Even you guys were there.
So, the van pulls to a stop, and you hear the tires sort of skid as they lose a little bit of traction, as if they're on gravel or sand or dust. There's some movement outside, and the back door opens, and there is this immaculately dressed guy in a black suit, white shirt, black tie. Everything about him is pristine, despite the fact that there is dust drifting all around. And he says, "So good to see you, JP. If you wouldn't mind stepping out, the rest of you, if you could follow us this way, please."
Hi.
Hi, Sharon.
Does this gentleman sound at all like Tommy Lee Jones?
Yes.
Good to know.
But I can't do a Tommy Lee Jones accent. So he's inviting you to step down from the back of the van. I'm presuming, JP, you've just jumped down.
Yep, jump down.
This is a familiar area for you.
Okay.
Anybody else jumping out the back of the van, or are you going to stay in there?
No, follow JP.
Follow.
Okay. He says, JP, if you could, wouldn't mind showing them to reception. So JP walks around the side of the van, goes down, and there's a large building in front of you. That, like I say, there's a lot of dust kicked up. This looks to be almost in the middle of a desert where you are now. But this large timber building, and there's a door open just slightly to the left-hand side, and above it there's a large sign, and it says Groom Mining Company.
Groom,
GROOM. And you can feel free to go and look that up offline if you want to figure out where you are. JP happily saunters through the door, and you're in a small room. There's a well-dressed lady behind a desk, and she's got a large book in front of her. There's a row of lockers behind her. There's an exit out of the room behind her as well. And the black-suited gentleman walks in, and finally, as you walk in, you notice behind you, stood either side of the door, are two armed military policemen.
Does the receptionisty woman have a name?
Yeah, she sees you and she goes, "Why, hi there, Jack. How y'all doing?"
Not too bad, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, have you been okay? Have you been looking after yourself? I do
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
when you're out in the field. And
No,
you know her name is Doris.
Doris. No, Doris, you know that this one wasn't that serious this time. Obviously, we got a handle on it pretty quickly, so didn't let it escalate like the others have.
I know. I mean, I know we got your reports regular, like, but you know, it's just I prefer seeing you in person every now and again, just to make sure you're all in one piece. It's mighty frightening business out there.
Yeah, don't
You've
you
been
worry about it.
looking after him, Doris.
Have you? Oh, I guess that must make you Sharon.
Yep. Hi.
Okay,
How
hi,
old's
hi,
Doris?
She's mid-20s.
Okay.
I wanted her to be a little old lady.
No, she's mid-20s and looks very pleasant, but she's dressed very formally, like proper corporate secretary almost. So she seems a bit out of place in this like middle of nowhere place that's just a wooden building. And she looks across at the guy in the suit and she goes, well, Special Agent Wade, are we to let them in? And he goes, why, yes, Doris, if you could just sign them in, please. And we'll get those formalities out the way. And he goes over to a locker and takes out like a miner's tin hat with a lamp. And he puts it on and waits in the doorway behind Doris. And she says, okay, folks, if, well, I guess, Jack, you're just going to put your name on the book as usual. If you just name, sign, date, and time for me. I mean, it's getting on a bit. It's just like it's 8 o'clock currently.
As I fill it out, like I have done in the past, can I have a quick scout to see if I notice any names of any other agents that I recognise?
Yeah, sure. Let's make it I'm going to say a library use.
I don't know what my library use is. Is it good? No, it's not good. Brilliant. Oh, that's a massive fail.
Okay.
Can we do a spotted in as we're looking around?
Yeah, you can.
Because we're obviously taking it in. Yep, that's a pass.
Okay. So, like I say, what looks out of place is how smart she's dressed, how immaculate the guy in the suit is, and the fact that there's heavily armed military policemen inside the doorway. It doesn't add up to a mining operation, so this is well out of the ordinary.
Like the Men in Black. We're going underground.
How old is Special Agent Wade?
Probably mid-40s.
Okay. Okay.
So JP signs his name. So it's like the signing in book. Are the rest of you following suit?
Yeah.
Do we need to sign in?
She has asked.
She asked.
Yeah.
So she wants me to sign in.
Yeah.
Something that I'm being taken to.
Yeah.
Against my will.
You're not handcuffed. You're not being dragged in there.
Oh, but there's two on guard still there, yeah?
Well, yeah, there's armed guards, but well, you can turn around and go, well, I guess it's up to you if you don't wish.
No. We want to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, they might offer us something.
Oh, I assume we're going to be.
So you're all happily signed in. Thurston, are you okay?
No, we're not
Yes.
happily signed in.
I'm more than happily signing
signed
in. And as I'm signing my name, I'm looking at Doris and I'm saying, you know, Doris, you are the diamond in the rough in these mines here. I must say you're dressed exquisitely for such a venue.
Oh, why, thank you. Jack, you never mentioned you knew such a charmer. Who is this fine English gentleman?
And I stand between Michael and Thurston and go, yeah, I'm like a rose between two thorns. I just find it funny.
JP's just going to put his head in his hands and look back up at Doris and go, as you got the reports, can we make sure that we check in the cane and the handbag, please?
Yeah, right. I'm an old man. I need a cane.
So, yeah, JP, you go over to a locker. This is a familiar routine to you. You open a locker and you take out one of these helmets and you put it on. If everyone else goes up to a locker, that is when Special Agent Wade says, now, I do hope y'all are going to leave your weapons in there. I don't want to have to pat you down just to make sure you've not left anything behind. This is a sensitive area we're going into.
Is it really? So they won't bring their weapons with them then?
We have our own security just to make sure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not. You didn't need to get rid of weapons, then, yeah.
Well, yeah, you will need to get rid of your weapons.
Thurston's going to start pulling out like handkerchiefs,
Loads.
and then a pack of cards, and then a wand. And he's like, Special Agent Wade, if you would enlighten me a moment, do you have anywhere to keep a dove?
Oh, I've got a dove as well. Genevieve.
And he looks and he says, he goes, give me a minute. And he goes down the corridor. And he comes back a few minutes later and he's got like a domed cage. And he says, I'm sure Doris will appreciate the company. Doris, will you make sure to look after these beautiful doves, please? And he puts it on her desk and opens the door, and you can shove the doves in if you like. How many doves are you depositing in this cage?
Well, he has 3 doves on him, so there's 3 doves going in from me. I don't know whether Genevieve is going from Sharon.
Genevieve will go in with a friend.
There's a lot of cooing as the other 3 haven't seen, as Genevieve 2, 3, and 4 have not seen Genevieve number 1 for a little while. It's like they're catching up on the gossip.
We have 5 minutes of that.
So are you leaving all your weapons in the lockers? I know the doves have been left and they're the most lethal weapon.
The battle doves, as Black Acid have rightly said. The battle doves.
I'll put my cane in the locker.
Okay, Sharon?
Yeah, I've put all my stuff in the locker.
If anyone's intending to bring a weapon, you're going to need to make me some sort of stealth roll.
No.
Let me just have a look at stealth. Oh, it's a 45. Can I do that?
Do it. I want to see
Go for it.
Wade take you out. See, rugby tackles you with his mining helmet on.
I mean, I'd like to point out that if you were to ask Jack in chat, he'd just say roll for it. So
Yeah.
And if you fail a roll, he will want you to push it.
Exactly.
I don't think I'd push it, but can I have at least one go at it?
Of course you can. What's the worst that could happen?
But I forgot I was wearing it.
So what is it you're trying to...
Oh, that's a 12. I've definitely got that.
What is it you're trying to sneak in then?
I've still got a 32 revolver, which is strapped on my leg.
Okay.
I got 12.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, you can't laugh like that and say that's fine.
Keeper's prerogative, that. You can laugh at every roll we make.
So you're headed off down the doorway. Okay, so JP, you're taking the lead again.
Mm-hmm.
You go down. This is a long wooden corridor, and at the end of which is an old-fashioned elevator with the concertina doors. Although for these times, it's the height of modern technology. Sharon, you follow on, then Thurston, and then Michael. And as you get there, a hand comes out to stop you.
No.
And he snaps his fingers, and 2 shotguns are lowered from the guards, who instantly react when Special Agent Wade commands them, and he says, "Now, I believe maybe you are suffering some concussion there, Michael, but I believe that you've forgotten about something."
The sock suspenders.
And he goes,
My monocle.
he goes, "Would you like to go back to the locker, or would you like to do this the hard way?"
I'll go back to the locker.
Are we still walking ahead? We've not waited for him.
Nope.
Yeah, and I'll unstrap my ankle and get it out and put it in the locker.
So you guys get down.
That was a good roll.
You know this guy's like special agent, yeah?
Yeah.
There was a slim chance you could have beaten him, but I know you got an extreme success, but you only needed like a below a 5, really.
Oh no, I thought that was good. A 12 was amazing.
It is good. Okay, so the rest of you get down to the elevator. The concertina doors are opened up, and there's 2 more MPs inside the elevator, armed. And you guys, JP leads you in, and then eventually Michael and Special Agent Wade catch up.
I like to think while we're stood there waiting, I'm going to be like, well, would anybody like to hear another joke?
Yes, please.
I feel like everybody's feeling a little tense. So here's a magic one for you, all you fine people. What did the magician say just before he pulled the dead rabbit out of his hat? Abracadabra. No? I mean, it works better. It works better when you have a hair to pull out of the hat, I suppose. But, you know.
Now, the 2 MPs that are standing in the lift, you notice that one of them, his shoulders are going, because you see him from the back. And then as Special Agent Wade comes in, he just looks up to him, and he starts glaring at him, and he goes, "Frank, is there a problem?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, sir." And he's like, "Very good." And on the inside of the lift, so the doors are closed, there's a large brass plate with loads of buttons, and they're numbered 1 to 25. But then right at the bottom, there's a red button with white letters on that says DD. This is the button that Special Agent Wade. Ooh, nice. There was applause for Thurston's joke there. Thank you, Jack. And so, it might have been for my button pressing, to be honest.
You know what I want to do, but
good.
I don't think I will. I want to just press all the buttons.
Like on Elf.
Just go like that. Yeah.
Is that your intention? You can do that if you like.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, make me a dexterity roll.
You'll make it quite high. You're going to be all right.
Yeah. 68. Oh, yeah. Just passes.
Just passed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5.2.
the guards got a hard pass. They rolled a 20. You'd leap to go for it, and then like it feels like a steel bar. I know your strength and con's really high,
Yeah.
but these guards are harder, and they just stop you dead in your tracks. And they go, "Excuse me, ma'am, could you step back from the buttons, please?"
I just want to press the buttons.
And Special Agent Wade looks over at you and goes, "And this is the problem that we've had with everything. Do you see why we've had to bring you here under these circumstances?"
Okay.
And he presses the DD button, and the lift shudders, and it slowly descends into this dark lift shaft, and it seems to go on for ages. It's actually less than 5 minutes, but it's long for a lift journey. And then eventually it clanks at the bottom of its journey, and the concertina doors are opened, and Agent Wade steps out, and he says, "JP, we'll be using rooms 11, 12, and 13, please." And in front of you is carved out of stone. It's a corridor. On the bottom, on the floor, it has a metal grating, And every 10 meters or so, there's a large steel door. And you go past them and the numbers start to increase. So 1's on the left, number 2's on the right. So they're staggered, 3, 4, 5. And it gets to room 11 and JP pulls this handle and opens the door. And then Agent Wade says, Miss Bennett, this will be your accommodation for a short while. If you could just step in there, please.
Okay.
And you go in. JP, you slam the door.
Slam the door.
And you
That's
turn
nice.
you turn the handle and lock it.
Yep.
And then you go on to the next one, which is number 12. And it says, Mr. Magnificent, this will be your short-term accommodation.
Oh, well. Don't suppose you've got a room with a view at all, do you? Well, okay.
Says,
very well.
You don't want a room with the views that we've got. And as you step in, JP slams the door shut, turns the lock. And then we come to number 13. JP opens the door. And then he looks at Michael and he goes, Mr. Pritchard, if you please.
I don't think this is necessary, but of
He
course.
says, we have to take certain precautions.
And this is necessary to lock us up. You can't just talk.
It is for the safety of the world, yes, for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you. When you're ready to thank me for that, come and get me, yeah?
Okay, we'll be having a conversation shortly, don't you worry.
Good, I'm ready for you.
The doors that you have, that we have, do they have any bars on them? Like, is there a little hatch with some bars or anything like that?
So there's not a bar, but there is a little hatch that opens into the corridor from the corridor. That's just a little square.
Okay.
But there's no bars.
Okay.
And inside, it's again rough-hewn rock. There is a wooden table, 2 chairs, a rudimentary cot bed, and 2 buckets, one filled with water, one without water. And there's a light. It's a light bulb just hanging on a wire, buzzing and flickering ever so slightly.
About my paper and pencils and stuff.
Yes, because they weren't weapons
in my pocket in that
you needed. Yeah.
I'm going to sit there just writing down everything that we've just seen.
Brilliant.
I'm quite. I don't know what the word is. Surprised that they've left us a bucket of water to stand in and then a light bulb we can put fingers in. I mean, that seems strange, but okay.
I mean, you can do that if you wish. Okay, JP, you're led off somewhere we'll find out about later.
Okay.
It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes before the first of you is spoken to, and we're going to start with room number 11. So, Sharon, the door opens, and in steps Special Agent Wade and his now right-hand man, Jack Philip Porter.
Hi! I just like doing that. I don't think it's funny.
And he goes, it's nice to see you're in fine spirits, Miss Bennett. And Wade takes the seat at the table and he gestures to you to take the other seat if you're not in it already.
Okay,
Meanwhile, JP, he just looks at you so that you can stand by the slightly ajar door. Make me a spot hidden, Sharon.
Okay. 45. Oh yeah, I passed.
Okay.
Just a normal.
You can notice just outside the door, there's another one of these armed guards with a shotgun. So he goes, okay, Miss Bennett, I've just got a few questions. I just need to get some things clarified. Bless you.
Sorry.
He says, I just need to get some things clarified with what you've been up to and like your side of the story, because we've had an awful lot of mess to clean up to ensure the safety of this world is kept. You have been unleashing forces upon this world that our little division here has been having to clean up after you.
Can I hear this?
Nope.
I can't hear this from a couple of cells away.
Nope.
Right, okay.
It says you have been meddling in forces that you shouldn't have been meddling in. I don't know why you felt the need to do that, but I think it's about time that we put that urge of yours to our use and try to stop you bringing about the complete end of all life in this plane of existence.
See, I look at it as in we helping people.
That is fine for you to look at it that way. However, I have just outlined what the reality is of what your actions have been. Do you understand this?
Yeah, I understand what you said.
Okay. So, why don't you tell me all about this special coffee you keep referring to?
Have you got any special coffee?
I just want to know what this special coffee is. My associate, Jack here, has made note of this special coffee, but we've been unable to identify exactly what this special coffee is. Why don't you tell us all about the special coffee?
Well, when the first time I had it was the book that I written, Night in the Orchard.
Mm,
I can't remember what the cafe's called. What's it called?
the Orchard Gas and Diner?
Yeah. So the first time
Orchard
I
Run.
tried it was at the Orchard Gas and Diner.
At Orchard Run, I am
That's
familiar with that, yes.
Yeah. So it's whatever they put in it. So I think it's whiskey, but I'm not sure what else they put in it. Never since then, I've been addicted to it.
You've been addicted to it. You
Yep.
haven't. If you'd been addicted to it, you'd have been changed. So why don't you tell me what makes this coffee so special then?
It makes you all nice and warm, and it makes you be confident and go and get what you want and help people feel better. So it helps with what we do, you see, because I write the books and save people.
Are you willing to let them know that it healed wounds? You saw it heal wounds.
Yeah, it healed wounds.
He says, okay, so let me just get this straight. You had a drink that helped wounds knit together, which is not something entirely natural. And your first instinct was you just want to keep drinking more and more of this liquid without thinking what the repercussions were.
Yeah.
Tell me, did anything happen untoward to anyone that drank larger amounts of this?
Yes, Michael went a bit insane once.
Oh, okay. And you still didn't think there was anything to worry about this special
I just thought
coffee?
it was Michael. I thought Michael just went insane because it was fine with me.
I see. Do you see where our paths will collide if this is how you're approaching the world, ma'am?
Yeah.
You encounter something completely unnatural with an unnatural consequence, and your initial instinct is to just keep pursuing that, even that, despite the fact that it is seen to have dire consequences.
See, I think it's given me the strength to be able to do it, because for some reason I've got a massive amount of strength.
I think that was just from your upbringing out in the country, milking cows 3 times a day,
Okay.
lifting haystacks.
But haven't we done good though?
That's some stuff you've done good, but I'm just trying to get across the impetuousness that you've had. You, like I say, you encounter something entirely unnatural, and your first instinct is just to keep consuming said
Yeah, I think
unnatural
it's because we're
substance.
used to unnatural, as in
Even
all
though
the
your
time.
partner in writing came out in hideous boils after consuming large amounts.
Yeah.
This did not strike a worrying chord with you.
No, because it hasn't done that to me.
Oh, well, that's
or
okay,
anybody else. It was just Michael. I think Michael just had a bad reaction to it.
Oh, and then he had to have a 6-month stay in a hospital to correct everything that had happened.
We have seen a lot of stuff though.
Right. Okay. This is where the cosmic terror is really striking. You unleash things upon the world without knowing their true consequences. This is why you're here today. I need to assess whether you can be trusted to go out in the field and work for us, or whether you're going to continue to work against us.
Oh, I wasn't trying to work against anybody. I just thought I was helping people and I was writing books to make money.
I am prepared to accept your ignorance of the world currently, but now I am here to spell it out that your actions have had dire consequences on the world. For instance, the special coffee we've just talked about.
Yeah. What? It's nice. It's ever so good.
It's ever so good. And almost irreparably corrupted your partner's body.
But yet it healed somebody as well.
Okay. Right. JP, do you have anything you would like to ask Miss Bennett?
It's like our son, JP. You were like our son.
I'd like to clarify that whilst you might feel betrayed, I think Agent Wade here can vouch for the fact that I'm probably one of the nicest agents on the team, and you were probably lucky to get me assigned to you, given some of your actions. So I don't think there's much need for hostility anymore.
Well, it's because we took you in, treated you like a son. You like
lucky.
Have you not got
kids? That's what a son is.
Agent Wade takes out a notebook and he says, JP, I believe here it says they kept putting you in undue dire circumstances at every opportunity.
We wanted you to learn and be one of us. That's all.
Whilst I've heard the expression throwing them in at the deep end, you guys did used to or have in the past forced situations, and upon forcing the situation, the go-to thing seemed to be, well, we'll let JP handle this. And you stood at the back taking photos and writing notes for your book.
We thought you could have a position there in the team. I did the writing. Michael does the kind of investigating, and we were trying to fit you in the team.
Can you hear me back on the walls?
Yeah, Michael is getting increasingly frustrated in the other room here. Okay, so Wade then goes, okay. So why don't you tell me what happened to Mary Laker? You remember Mary, right? She was the waitress at Orchard Gas and Run Diner.
Yeah. I think I might have had. It was the first time I had some of that special coffee.
Oh, so this special coffee has made you do something that you wouldn't normally do, but still you insist that it is a good thing and should be sought out at every opportunity.
To be honest, I can't remember too much about the coffee shop.
Is this because of the special coffee?
Yes, it might be.
Okay, are you now coming round to my way of thinking that this special coffee perhaps isn't
special
as good? Yeah, maybe you should rename it Dangerous Coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't remember what happened to the waitress, young Mary?
Not really. I remember the waitress, and she brought us food, and she brought us the special coffee actually.
Okay.
So she was helping a man that was upset and gave him special coffee.
Now that's very useful. Thank you for giving us that piece of information. We were not aware of that. Okay, this gives us a line of inquiry to track down where this coffee is coming from. Well done.
Yeah, it's from there.
I feel we're making progress, Miss Bennett. You are to be commended. However, what happened to Mary Laker?
I don't know. I think we had to do some kind of ritual.
Oh, you did a ritual. Okay. And you've done plenty of rituals before, have you?
I don't know. See, Michael helps me a lot.
You're trained in carrying out rituals, I see. Well,
But
I mean, we can
trying
point you in the right direction for some things.
Yeah, we're trying to save somebody, but as I say, it's very blurry.
Oh, it's blur. Okay.
Yeah,
A bit too much of the dangerous coffee then, yeah?
and we're with two other people. I think it was an ex-copper and somebody else. And one really liked donuts.
Okay.
And one shot the other one, I think. But like I say, it's very blurry.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, Miss Bennett. We will be back shortly. You make yourself as comfortable as you can here.
Could I have a coffee, please?
I'm afraid we don't have coffee available at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
And him and JP walk out, the door gets locked behind. They're on to cell number 12. And Thurston, Special Agent Wade comes in, followed by JP. The door's slightly ajar. You can... Okay, yeah, go on, make me a spot hidden if you want to try and see the guard.
Yeah, man, 14. Look at that. I mean, it's only a regular success for me, but you know.
That's good. You see a heavily armed guard out in the corridor by the doorway. JP is stood up. Special Agent Wade takes a seat. If you're not already seated, he goes, please, Mr. Magnificent.
Before they walk in, I'll be like, gentlemen, my boudoir is open to you.
He says, I see you have made yourself comfortable, Mr. Magnificent.
Well, you know, I've been in worse than this when I've been in Scarborough. The digs there are somewhat terrible, so...
So, I just have a few questions for you, Mr. Thurston. If I may just call you that without the your official moniker of Great and Magnificent. Is that okay?
Well, how about this? You can call me just Thurston if you don't tell your guards off for laughing at my hilarious jokes.
That sounds like a deal that I can do with you straight away, Mr. Thurston.
Wonderful.
So, I have a couple of questions for you. You are a somewhat interesting character at the moment.
Well, thank you.
I'm just wondering, who is Tin Can Bill to you?
Well, this is a complex question, isn't it, really? I mean, it's more surprising for starters that you recognize that name. Tell me, why do you recognize that name?
We have our sources.
Well, if you must know, he was my uncle, or he is my uncle. And I'm working on, you know, getting him out of jail, because he's in for a crime he did not commit.
I see. And would this be the Hartley twins murders in London now?
Well, yes.
Okay, and why do you believe he's innocent of those? I mean, it seems like the trial was just and fair, and...
Oh, well, yes, Mr. Wade, and we all know that the courthouses are absolutely not swayed by anything the colour of green at all, are.
Well, I can't vouch for the English legal system, but I'm sure our legal system is up to scratch.
Absolutely. The American dream, is it not?
That is correct.
Justice and liberty for the right price.
Okay. So we just wanted to understand, you know, your reticence for going back to the to your country of birth and why you've chosen to come and, should we say, hide over here?
Well, I'm not hiding, dear boy. You have many, many dullards. Yes, you have many dullards over here. And, well, I mean, England is a very small country. In fact, I think you could probably fit our little country in one of your many states, you know? So, how do I earn money the easiest way? How do I make sure that I live the life that I want to live? Well, I come over here, where everybody is surprised at, and I'm going to try and do the quarter from behind his ear trick.
Go for it. Give us your stage magic performance.
Oh, God. Okay. 9. Suck it, weep. That's a extreme.
So yeah, you pull a coin from his ear.
When everybody can be so surprised by the seemingly unordinary. He kind of rolls it across the back of his fingers and puts it in his pocket.
It is. He goes, that is a mighty fine display of prestidigitation there, Mr. Thurston.
Thank you, sir.
Those skills could come in useful for our little division. I just want to check, though, before we engage your services. That scar you've got, that's not going to cause an issue going forward, is it?
I'm sorry, what now?
That scar that you carry, that's not going to impair you in any way, shape or form now, is it?
No. I mean, have you seen me struggle at all?
I've only got reports of you performing on stage. I just don't know, when things get hectic, whether you're going to be somewhat incapacitated by an old wound.
Oh, no. I mean, if you speak to JP there, he will tell you how useful I was for whatever it was we faced off against in the Twitchell behind the theatre, yes? You know? Poof, out of the shadows and back in the shadows and out of the shadows and... Well, to be honest, I kind of wanted to know what his trick was. You know, it would look very good on stage.
That it would. So you don't think it's going to make you a magnet for any of these otherworldly forces then?
What, dipping in and out of shadows?
No, the scar. The scar.
Oh,
Mr.
sorry. You just attracted my attention to the obvious thing. I mean, no, the scar, why would it? I mean, it's not been carved in any particular rune. It just so happened to be that there was a small cult, I say cult, really. It was just a band of probably a few people, little bit squiffy, had a few too many pints at the old pub, and they thought I was the second coming of some sort of high priest thing. All I can say is never do card tricks in Liverpool. They get very confused.
It says, okay. Well, thank you kindly for your time, Mr. Thurston. We will be back shortly to discuss further.
You're welcome here anytime.
JP, have you got any questions you would like to ask?
Nothing that springs to mind. As I indicated in my reports, I do think he'd be a good addition, minus the multiple stories and continuous reminiscing.
I see. Yeah. I can see his mind is prone to wander, but that may come in useful as a distraction, if nothing else. Okay, very well. And they let themselves out and the door closes. And now we're on to cell 13, where there's been lots of gesticulating.
Oh, dear.
JP, you may want to go in armed. Okay, so same again. In walks Special Agent Wade. JP's there. The door's slightly ajar. You can make a spot hidden just to see if you notice the heavily armed guard out there.
No. No.
Okay, so to you, the door is left ajar and looks somewhat enticing. Like, yeah, you could run past them and make it through there. You could barrel into JP and out into the hallway.
Darkness, my old friend.
Brilliant.
Thank you, JP.
No, I want to hear this.
Again, Special Agent Wade takes the seat. If you're not already at the seat, he says, please, Mr. Pritchard, won't you join me at the table?
Okay, yep, I'll come and sit down.
So where is the lead box?
First off, why am I in a lead box?
You're not in a lead box.
Why am I in this room? Let's talk about that.
Well, as I say, there are forces in this world that we are pitted against. And if we wish people to help us, we don't ask a question and interrupt me, sir. We need to make sure that those that work for us are fully up to that task.
You say us. Yeah.
Yes.
And so where was you when all this stuff's been going on?
Well, you seem to be under the impression that we are in this room for me to answer your questions.
And why am I in this room then?
You are in this room so that we can assure ourselves that you are safe to work with.
And what makes you think I'm going to work with you when you won't tell me why I'm here?
Well, you will be offered a chance to work with us. You can then choose to say no, and then you will be entirely free to go. Now, shall we continue with the questions?
We can continue with some questions, yeah.
Very well. So
why am I here?
where's the lead box?
The lead box is safe.
The lead box is safe.
It's safe.
The lead box that could wipe out all of life on planet Earth, and you've got it somewhere safe. Is that right?
Yeah. Wouldn't you say that was a good idea rather than leaving it in a shitty flat that it was in?
We weren't aware of its presence until you uncovered it. So why don't you tell me what's inside the lead box?
Inside the lead box
Yeah.
is papers.
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 Oh, we'll come to the papers shortly. There's other papers we need to talk about. Okay, so you think there's just papers inside a sealed lead box, and you've got it safe. Is this in your little shack of a museum by any chance?
No, I thought it was, but it's not.
Okay, so if I were to ask you to produce a lead box, you could get hold of it within 24 hours and bring it here so that we could make sure it's secure.
I assume I can.
You have that ability. Yeah.
I assume so.
Okay.
I have to check where it is. I haven't checked on it. I haven't had time. Because guess what? I don't get time to have anything to do. I go on a break, something happens. I check on my hotel, something happens.
It's almost like evil and powerful forces are drawn to you. This is why we have you here now, currently, and are assessing you for suitability.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question then, other than the Hop House papers, where would we find those?
In a box.
In the lead box or in another box? How many boxes do you own, sir?
We have been trying to protect them from the public and putting them away.
And your intention was to display them in your museum, is that right?
Not display them in the museum. We do take trinkets from the places we've been that are not such a danger.
And how are you assessing the danger of these trinkets, sir?
Well, I usually decide on whether they try to kill me or not.
Oh, okay. So so you have the spines from an avatar of Glaaki then on display in a jar, and you don't feel that they're dangerous at all?
And not if nobody gets into them, no. If somebody touches them, maybe.
And you just have them on a table in a glass jar, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And while we're on the route of Glaaki, where is the book detailing how to create an avatar of Glaaki that you took from the motel?
That's in my custody as well.
That's in your custody as well. Okay. And where exactly in your custody? Is that just lying on a coffee table somewhere for someone to read?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't remember.
Are you now?
I usually ship them. I assumed that the place I was sending them to was more secure than there was, and I was shipping them from where we finished to where they go to.
Did you ever think to check the wooden shack you were storing them in?
And that's what we was doing before you picked us up.
Oh, right. Okay. But once you discovered that they were in just a shack, which is a shack that you purchased and outfitted, did you ever think to do anything about these straight away? Or did you just think to gather more things? Like, what about a book about a certain king in yellow? Where could I find that?
You'd have to ask JP about that.
Oh, he's already told me all I need to know.
Because he took the book, he stole the book, and we tried to return the book.
You tried to return it. Okay.
We did try to return the book.
Right. Very well. So, do you see why I have some concerns, sir, about these forces you've been unleashing on the world that we have, quite frankly, had to tidy up after you, along with an awful lot of bodies?
I can see that there is problems, yes.
Okay.
But I don't see that how you're associating that we're making all this happen.
Well, the one common part of the equation is you folks seem to draw these mystical forces in, and that is why we would like to work with you and see if we can draw them in a more sterile environment and do something about them with our backing.
And what help would you bring?
Well, I'm not prepared to discuss that in this room, but
because as we've been running through these investigations, none of them have been, let's go here to investigate this. Everything has happened without
exactly, and
without
that
any provoke from us. We haven't gone there specifically for this. You seem to be assuming that we're causing.
No, what I am saying is the forces seem to be drawn to you, and we can either let you run chaos around the world and keep cleaning up after you in a way that you are completely unaware of, or we can try and direct that and hope to contain these outbreaks in a more suitable style and more controlled.
Right, contain.
Yes.
That's a good word, contain.
Yeah.
So your one thing is that we've had people along the way that's got injured.
Well, no, I haven't said that. I'm just pointing out that
But
you're in possession.
You're happy to slaughter innocent people.
You're in possession of some things that can only be described as doomsday devices, and yet you seem to think that leaving them lying around on coffee tables is adequate protection for the world. Now, Mr. Pritchard, I think all my questions are done. JP, do you have any questions for Mr. Pritchard?
Not necessarily questions, but more a little bit of advice. So, Michael, I can still feel the hostility towards me, and whilst I understand your feel of betrayal, I think that you need to assess the situation and accept that we're here to work together. We just need to change your way of thinking slightly. What you believe to be doing is the right thing is not anymore. And we feel welcoming to you, that you can come and join us and assist us and carry on doing what you're doing with some slight modifications. I think that's the best of both worlds for everyone, really. But if you wish to continue down the route of hostility, I mean, I'm quite happy to walk away now, Agent Wade, and leave him to sit and think for a bit longer.
And with that, Agent Wade gets up and walks out the room.
Oh.
I'm gonna stay there and just sit there and go, so do you need more time, or can we draw a line under this and move on?
I don't need your help. If anything, by the sound of what you're telling me, you need us.
He's snatching the olive branch and breaking it in front of your face.
At which point, I'm also going to get up and just walk out and not say anything.
I imagine that, like, Michael was just trying to grip a sword cane hilt. It's like there isn't one. Like...
Cool. So we are getting close to the end of our time, but we're about to start wrapping up. So
I will tell them one thing though. From day one, when this has gone on, we've never ever intentionally gone to hurt anybody. I have taken things away to help the people. Yeah, if there was a place and I was told of a place to put these stuff, we would have taken it then. And if somebody was following us and watching us and doing everything, where was you when we needed you?
They were,
Boom.
they were cleaning up your previous
on more than
adventure.
on one occasion, and it's good having little men parading with shotguns outside the doors, yeah. But where are you when we need you? All we've got is JP, who stands on the boat firing a gun into nowhere, yeah, and then loses his ship.
Tell him, Michael. Tell him.
I mean, they only became aware of your actions afterwards, and
They
so
never read a book.
have been trying to assess how you are. They've offered you the chance to work with them, and they've just said to you, we can look after all these really dangerous items that you just leave lying around, and we're happy to work with you. So that's okay. You can stay in the cells to stew a bit longer.
I'd rather think on it for a bit. I think I can have a word with Sam.
You try the normal ritual. You don't have access to all your stuff currently, and you can't get.
We're back. I don't know.
Oh, okay, so Sharon and Thurston, after what's probably about 10-20 minutes, the doors are opened and JP is there for you both. So he goes to Sharon first, then to Thurston, and he's like, well, JP, Agent Wade has asked you to escort them to his office, which is at the end of the corridor.
Okay, so I'm going to go and collect. Can I collect both of them at the same time or one at a time?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll collect both of them at the same time and just say, can you follow me, please? You seem to have impressed Agent Wade with your answers, so right this way.
Okay.
Don't say okay, say where am I?
Oh well, I've heard you.
No, you won't have heard him though.
Oh, I want to be going. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Do we? So if we come out into the corridor, so there's the three of us together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Where's Michael?
He needs a little more time to think about things.
Okay, but you'll let him out after, right?
He's frozen in time. But he says, yeah, sure, if he calms down and agrees to work with us.
Okay.
He's
He might need a little time.
Yeah.
I thought he was just trying to add suspense to this.
I mean.
He's back. He's back. He's unfrozen.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, he needs more time to think about things as where I left it.
Okay. He does need time to cool down sometimes. He'll be all right.
So for now, you're all led down to the end of the corridor, away from the elevator, and you go into a room. It's a large wood-paneled office with bookcases around all the walls. There's 4 comfortable leather wingback chairs in front of a large ebony desk, behind which sits Special Agent Wade. He offers you to take a seat. So JP, you don't take one of the seats. You just sit on the edge of the desk in a place that you've sat quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But you're facing those stroking a small cat.
Oh, is that good?
One villain.
It's got to be Dr. Evil. He's not a proper Bond villain.
And you're offered refreshments by Wade. There's alcoholic drinks, and there's some food there for you, which you tuck into. And after about 15 minutes, he just looks up at JP and goes, I think we're ready for Mr. Pritchard now. I'm sure he's cooled down enough. But if you could just make sure there's some guards outside in case he insists on being stubborn.
Ooh,
And
JP,
Off I go.
Bring Frank. He's got some more jokes to hear.
So you go and get Michael. Michael, you're
Yes.
led you're led to this comfortable office. There's a leather wingback chair for you to sit in, and Agent Wade goes, "So, Mr. Pritchard, are you willing to join us this time?"
I'm willing to listen.
And I'm there at the corner of his eye going,
Go, "I'm afraid that
I
wasn't
heard
my question. This is kind of a one-time offer."
we can work together, Michael.
Forever and ever and ever.
Or we can all work together. Can we still be called the most haunted crew?
He says, "You folks can call yourselves whatever you like, but you will have the resources of the Delta Division behind you in any situations you find yourself in."
Even better.
Oh, good. Start writing that down in your book for me.
Me?
Yeah, write
Yeah,
that
yeah.
down. And then we're going to be
Okay.
working with the Delta Division. We'll have that in the book. That'll sell quite a lot. Can we take a photo of you as well? Do you mind that?
He goes, "I think you are just being facetious now, sir. The door is there. Feel free to walk out of it." Okay, make me right. What I think what he does now is he strokes a brooch on his jacket. Make me a power roll.
And me?
No, just Michael.
Yeah. No. We need you to do it.
With a
Hello.
penalty dice.
It's a normal success
Yeah, with a penalty dice.
with a penalty dice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's still a normal success. Just
Yeah.
though, like 2 points.
Okay, so you feel all the anger and hostility drain out of you, and you feel quite calm now. And then
Right,
he goes,
let's get to it then.
he says, and Sharon, are you getting your notebook out and starting to write?
Yeah, but nothing bad.
So Wade looks at JP and goes, "JP, if you wouldn't mind, I would like this to be kept off the record."
Okay, I'll stop writing then.
So
You
he's
can have to-
indicating that you take Sharon's notebook
Yeah,
and pen.
and I'll go over and take them off her and just say, this is not one for the publishers to see.
You
And
can
he
just
says,
say stop writing and I'll stop writing.
he then addresses you and goes, "Well, you folks have caused a great deal of chaos that I've personally had to clear up. All of this on top of having to look into recent incidents in Dunwich and Innsmouth. I need to try and get yourselves back. I need you to try and get yourselves back into my good books. Now, I have here," and he holds up 4 envelopes, bulging envelopes. He lays them on his table. He goes, "I have here $500 each, but it isn't free. Nothing in this life comes for free. You should be aware of that. Stop collecting freebies. I need you each to book into Bottle Creek Health Sanitarium for 2 weeks each. These 2 weeks must include the 31st of October. I'll leave it to each of you to pick exactly when and how you get there. Bottle Creek Health Sanitarium is in Michigan. I want you all to be there and see what you can turn up for me. It's run by a Dr. Harvey Johns. I need you back here with a full report by November the 21st. Consider this an entrance exam for Delta Division. Now you are all free to leave."
Who wants to go to the pub?
Well, Thurston, throughout this whole thing, is going to have just been eating and drinking this scotch that he's going to have had the whole time. Like, I'm sorry, what?
I'm sure your ears would have picked up at the $500.
Oh, 100%. Do you know, Special Agent Wade, it does come to mind that had it not been for the chaos of the most haunted twins and their son here,
We twins there.
we would have never have been in this position. So
That is my
really,
point exactly.
it's fortunate that, you know, you have such fine scotch available and that we are able to come to your assistance, and likewise you're able to come to ours.
It is indeed a mutually beneficial agreement.
Well,
So can I ask, am I allowed to write a book about this if I take everybody's name out of it?
No.
I've already told you no.
Okay. I'm just clarifying.
We will give you plenty of stuff you can write books about.
Okay. I like to write books.
I've noticed.
I won't write about this then.
Cool. So that is the offer on the table. You can take the money and go and get onto it. And then next week, we will join you all at Bottle Creek Health Sanitarium.
Sounds good.
And we are done for a short while on this stream. So thank you very much for being interrogated.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
Very good.
Very
Good.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. So thanks always to our sponsors. So we have Lost Boys Pizza.
Hooray!
We have Monkeys Emporium. Yay!
Hooray!
And there's another one. It eludes me. Shea Glass Games. Yay! We will be back with more tales from the Lost Emporium for this Call of Cthulhu adventure next Saturday night. However, we will shortly be joining Black Acid Studios tonight for more Chaos on the Nile. So we will see you, me and Bushy will see you guys in chat hopefully very soon.
Yeah, in about 20 minutes. We're looking forward to it, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, should be really good. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank
See you
you.
soon.
Very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.